Sabres get a massive win in Montreal. Talking about it coming up here on the Locked On Sabres podcast.
Your Locked On Sabres, your daily podcast on the Buffalo Sabres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody, and welcome in to this Friday edition of the Locked On Sabres podcast. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you listen to your podcast. You can watch our show on YouTube at the like and subscribe button there. If you want to leave a review and a 5-star rating also wherever you're listening, that's always very helpful, so would appreciate that. And if you want to get into our Locked On Sabres Everydayers Club, where you can get ad-free versions of the show, get into our Discord, and more, go to lockedonsabres.supercast.com. Today's episode of Locked On Sabres presented by FanDuel. The playoffs are here. FanDuel is in playoff mode for football. So visit FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Stinky Joe DiBiase following the Sabres win over Montreal. It was a massive game in the standings, which we will look at how it happened. Again, I've got a theory this time on why the Sabres continue to nearly blow these big leads, but they have finished the job each and every time, and last night was another version of that. So we'll go through the goals. We'll look at the game. We had a Yuri Kulik question that we were bouncing around on Twitter and also in our Discord that I maybe want to touch on for a minute as well, and we'll take a brief look at Sabres and Islanders Saturday afternoon tomorrow. The Sabres get the win. If you're watching along on YouTube, yes, it is very cold in my basement. I got the space heater running over here. It's freezing in Buffalo, and just needed a little extra heat. So I got the beanie on, the Jeff Skinner 1,000-game beanie, and the hood up too. Yeah, it's cold. It's very cold. It's negative temperatures. Luckily, if you are a Sabre season ticket holder, they are not home for a couple of days. You're at Long Island here on Saturday. You're at Toronto on Tuesday. They're not home until Thursday. It'll still be cold then against LA, but we'll get to that when we get there. Let's go to the matchup against Montreal and what we saw in the game. A lot of good things and some bad things. I think I want to try on a theory as to why this is happening. It's not one that I am 100% confident in being true, but it's weird. Right? It's weird that they keep getting these 4-goal leads, these 3-goal leads, and letting teams crawl back into the game. But again, it hasn't cost them any points yet. Montreal is one of these, and we saw that against Nashville, of course, on Tuesday, and the Philly game a couple of nights ago. There was the Vancouver game a few weeks back, but we'll get to that coming up. The Sabres roar out to an early lead in this game, and it was a big game, and Lindy talked about that in postgame, that both teams knew what this game meant in the standings. And there's a lot of teams that had been pushing, and you've had a few that have begun to fall out. But, Florida's back and winning and hanging around there, and you've got Toronto hanging around, and Boston continues to win games. Detroit continues to win games, Tampa. So it's very competitive, and it's a very competitive division on top of the conference in general. So the third spot, top 3 in the Atlantic, is big. It's very critical. It gives you that little extra buffer to making the playoffs, and maybe an easier matchup in the playoffs if you are to get there. But it's more about making it. It's one more team that you can leapfrog over. A little over a week ago, we talked about that you had 3 games against Montreal, and you really wanted to win those 3 games, especially in regulation, if you wanted a real good chance of passing Montreal and doing it sometime soon. The Canadiens, think about it this way. You wake up this morning, and with that win in the bank in regulation and beating them in regulation last week, giving them 0 of a possible 4, while you take 4, your gap is only 2 points, and you have a game in hand. If Montreal had won those 2 games in regulation, look how big the difference could be. You'd be talking about a 10-point gap between the Sabres and the Canadiens. It could be totally different. The top 3 could feel dead today. If even you keep the other wins, right? Like Keep the win against Nashville in there, and keep the win against Philadelphia, and keep the win against Anaheim. Keep the other wins. Just flip the 2 Montreal games, and that's the difference between being in good shape to grab one of those top 3 spots and it being basically a dead idea. Because making up a 10-point gap is almost impossible. Now you've put yourself in a position to potentially leapfrog Montreal in the top 3 in the Atlantic by next week. They play again next Saturday in Buffalo, and you don't even have to play better than them. Match them 1 for 1. Match their record between now and next Saturday, and the Sabres could, with a win, jump Montreal for a top 3 spot. So meant a lot in the standings. And getting out to that early lead, man, it made me feel more comfortable. I'm sure it made the team feel a little bit more comfortable. A great 2-on-1 play. Nice pass by Jack Quinn off the backhand on a 2-on-1, and Zucker is able to score it. And he had an eventful first period. He got that hit on Caden Gooley where it looked like his head hit Gooley in the head, and Montreal was chasing him around. But Quinn, by the way, he got that assist there. It was the only point of the night. I loved him all game. And I have not been a big fan of Quinn this season. I've described him this way, and I think this is about what he's been, that he's very inconsistent. He turns the puck over as much as anybody on the team, and I think he's probably the Sabres' worst forward defensively. However, his shot and some of these rush plays for him have been valuable this year, and he's giving you a little bit in that department. And in this game, I didn't think it was just that. I thought he was winning battles. I thought he looked fresh. I thought he was skating well. Like, it was a really solid game, in my opinion, for Jack Quinn. So they get that early goal. First minute, bang, you're out to a 1-0 lead. And then it's back and forth. And what a energy jolt when Beck Malenstein is charging down the wing with speed. Beck can skate. He's got good wheels. And he's fresh because he doesn't play all that much. So, he doesn't get very tired. Malenstein all the way up the boards, beating the defenseman to get out in front of Montembeault and cut across the crease and put it on the other side. I saw the Sabres put the video side by side of the Malenstein goal and the Pominville goal, and I understand why they did that. They're both wearing number 29, right? They are both on the penalty kill. They are both beating a forward around the edge to get in front of the net and kind of swipe across the front of the goalie. I get it. Still kind of like, what are we doing here, right? Like, that is a series-winning goal, and here is Malenstein scoring a first-period goal in January. But I get it. I get why they did it. And also, 506 night was just last week. So, 4th goal of the year. Malenstein's got a couple of nice ones. Remember, he had that dangle goal earlier in the year. So, Sabres shorthanded. They continue to be more dangerous shorthanded than they are on the power play. Their ability to score, and now they lead the NHL in shorthanded goals. That has helped. I mean, it's not a lot because the team that leads the league in shorthanded goals is not going to score a lot of shorthanded goals. Like, on the year, they're at 7. So, power play, you're at 28. So really, if you wanted to go by like special teams goals, special teams goal percentage, it's a little better. It makes up for the power play being so putrid a little, but not a crazy amount. But it is nice to have that their penalty kill is capable of scoring goals. And then the kid line strikes again. And I thought they had a pretty nice game again. Noah Ostlund, I think, is still the engine that runs that line. And on that play, Helenius, I had been saying Helenius for a while. Helenius, on his backhand, he's going for the goal. And he nearly gets it. Benson swats it out of midair, hits the post, bounces back to him, hits the post again. But there's Benson winning battles in front of the net. We had a caller on WGR 550 this morning that came up with a great nickname for Benson that I kind of want to run with and make a thing. And that's calling him Scrappy Doo. He right? Like, it's not bad. He's smaller. He's scrappy. There he is winning battles in front of the net to get not 1, not 2, but 3 whacks at the puck to find its way in for a 3-0 lead. So everyone's feeling good there. That's early in the second period. This trait, though, of having teams fight their way back into games, that happens. And I want to get more into my theory on that in a couple of minutes here. I almost skip past the second because it got chaotic, and we'll talk about it. And it was very panicky, and Lindy did a good job calling timeout. But I also would want to give the Sabres credit for the performance that they put on in the third period. You're up 1, and you're in a fight. You are trying to close out that game. That's a loud, energetic building. It is the best atmosphere of any team in the National Hockey League. They get energized on any little thing, let alone a goal. It is deafening in there. It's not an environment you want to spark or allow the Canadiens to spark. So you're in that third period, and you're only up 1, and they shut down Montreal. A complete, utter, no-event hockey game. Low-event hockey game. Really almost no event. In the third period, some of the numbers on this. The Canadiens had 1 high-danger chance in the entire third. The Sabres had 0. That's a 5-on-5, so I'm not counting Krebs' empty net goal for that because that would have been 5-on-6. 1 high-danger chance for Montreal, 0 for Buffalo in the third. That's the type of game they needed to play. I like when they're more aggressive. They got away with it, though, in this one, and they really packed it in and did it well. Scoring chances in general, which expands the map out just a little bit. 3 for Montreal, 2 for Buffalo. I mean, Montreal had 24 scoring chances going into the third period, and then had 3 when they were down 1. 8 shots in total. Just a good, solid effort, locking things down defensively, blocking shots. They might have cost themselves a couple of players. I mean, Jacob Bryson blocks a shot right at the end of the second period after Lindy had called timeout. He's going to miss a while, according to Lindy. And Dahlin blocked a shot near the end of the game, and he was not at practice, or at least as of not right now. He was not spotted at practice. So hopefully that's nothing too bad. We'll see if he's in the lineup tomorrow, but we know Bryson is not going to be. So end of the day, the game ends up looking like, well, Montreal outshot them, and Montreal had more chances, but the Sabres won it early, panicked in the middle, and then got it together. And they slapped themselves in the face. Lindy poured a bucket of water in on their heads, and they figured it out, and they got there. But I do want to explore again why do they let teams back in games? I have a theory. You tell me if you like it or not, if it makes sense, or if you think I'm off my rocker and you're trying too hard to figure out the answer, because it's happening now enough where I think there's got to be a reason. So get to that when we come back. You're on Locked On Sabres. Today's episode of Locked On Sabres is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. We're in playoff mode, and every game day during the NFL playoffs, FanDuel's giving customers even more ways to get in on the action, because right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. Every game day, you'll see a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts, and you can apply those to the bets that you like the most. Maybe it's a touchdown prop. Maybe you're going for the emotional hedge on Sunday and you're betting on New England or Diggs. Open your profit boost pack first thing on game day. See what boosts that you want to apply. Those boosts are going to give you more juice on the bets that you already like, instead of forcing you to bet something new. So every play will feel bigger. The boost will make your bets feel that way too. Boosts let you lean into your game day instincts, whether you're backing momentum, defense, quarterback play, or coaching. You make the picks, then apply your profit boost to go even bigger on the payouts while the playoffs are rolling. So visit FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Sneaky Joe DiBiase back here on the Locked On Sabres podcast. Sabres win 4-2 over Montreal, 61 points in 50 games. That is a nice and easy 610 points percentage. Montreal is at 618 points percentage. So we are within a tenth, right? We are within a tenth of where Montreal is by points percentage. 2 points back with 1 game in hand for the third spot in the Atlantic. They are 4 points up on the first team out of the playoff picture, which at the moment is Toronto. Sabres will play the Leafs in a pretty big game on Tuesday night. They have the Islanders first up. We'll talk about that matchup in a moment. But first, here's another game. We went through the list: the Vancouver game, the Nashville game, the Montreal game last night. I think the Philadelphia game a couple of weeks ago was this as well a little bit. Sabres were up 3-0 in that game. It got to 4-2. So a little bit lesser of an example, but these other games are enough to see, yeah, it's happening. But again, haven't lost one. Here's my theory. I'm going to lay it out for you. You want to send me something on our Discord? You want to send me a text or tweet? You can do that as well on what you think, or maybe you have an explanation. Mental is going to come up a lot, right? Like a mental flaw in there. I mean, they used to do this. Now they used to blow it. Remember, they lost 4-0. They were up 4-0 on Colorado last year at the beginning of that losing streak. Colorado came back and won it. So they haven't lost the game. My theory is that the Sabres' strength as a team, when they are playing at their best, what are they doing on the ice? It's a skill that they have that not everybody else does, which is the Sabres have active, dynamic, aggressive, skilled defensemen that get up in the play, jump up in the zone, jump up in a rush. They'll go all the way down into the corner. They'll go behind the net. They'll forecheck even sometimes. The Sabres, when they're at their best, I feel, are playing in the offensive zone something close to positionless hockey, where everybody's got the freedom to go all out, jump up in a play, and grab a chance when you think it's there for you. Bo Byram does this a lot. Samuelsson is doing this year more than ever. Power and Dahlin too. I mean, they're the guys doing it the best and doing it the most, your top four. When they get a lead, 3-0, 4-0, I feel that the defensemen are playing more conservatively and they're a little bit more attached to their own blue line. And I think what that does is it causes more plays in the offensive zone to die out and to lose possession because Byram or whoever might be standing on the blue line and thinking, or even being told this by a coach, well, you know, we're up 3-0 and I could go get this puck, but it's a 50-50. And if I get caught, then it's an odd man rush going the other way, or hell, I've got a forward back that is trying to defend. I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to back up. And then what happens is you lose possession. You don't take the 50-50 shot. Now it's a 0-100 shot. They're going to get the puck and they're going to come back at you. And sure, you're in better position defensively. You have better personnel back defensively, but they're going to have the puck more. And by doing that, they're going to get more chances. They're going to get more rushes, and they're going to get more bounces and more opportunities to score a soft one on your goaltender. Like, I think that could be it. That it's not really that complicated. It's just this team is got great, fast, skilled defensemen that play all around the ice in most times of the game. And I think when they get leads, that kind of stops happening. So that would lead me to say, I think what you want then is when you're up 3-0 is tell your defenseman, hey, don't be afraid to still take chances. Do it. That's what makes us good. That's what makes us a great team. That sounds like I'm taking credit away from the forwards. I don't mean to do that. I just think the number one thing they have is those defensemen. So use it. Don't put it away. Don't put it up on the shelf and let them come at you for 40 minutes straight. Keep going. Go get a fourth goal. Go get a fifth goal. Build the lead out even more. Don't play prevent for the rest of the way. And I don't think they're playing all the way prevent until they get to the ends of these games, but I do think that there is a difference. So it's a thought. I don't know what else really explains it. Your other possibilities could just be it's a mental frailty of theirs, and I don't know how you fix that. I think how you fix that is maybe the way, if that's the case, the way Lindy's done it. Lindy has been calling timeouts at the right times, and they've been bouncing back after that has happened. They've been getting good goaltending, mostly. They've had those couple soft goals in these games. I don't think there really was one of those last night. I think Luukkonen was great all night long, and it helps, right? He stops a breakaway on Bolduc when they're both coming to the box with Samuelsson, and you get the power play after that, which, by the way, I did think was a power play. They showed the slash. He should have got 2 penalties. But if Luukkonen doesn't stop that breakaway, then you're talking about a tied hockey game eventually there. And now it's a totally different game. So you got to get good goaltending and you got to get some luck along the way. But I just want to see them keep their foot on the gas pedal, even when they're up by 3, even when they're up by 4. And I think that starts with their blue line, because their blue line, they're never more dangerous when those defensemen are roaming around the offensive zone. Okay, when we come back, a look at the Islanders matchup, my bet of the night, or should be really bet of the day for tomorrow. Hellenis did not score last night, so we are down to plus 7.8 units on the season. Still good. We might go for something that's not as much of a long shot, although Hellenis did almost score on that Benson play, the goal that Benson gets. When we come back, we'll talk about it here on Locked On Sabres. Sneaky Joe DiBiase back here on the Locked On Sabres podcast. We are talking Sabres and Islanders for tomorrow's game. A place that, I don't really remember many good things happening for the Sabres. Over the years, feels like they always lose on Long Island. Of course, we'll always remember the Hudson Fasching kicked goal that was somehow allowed to stand and kind of cost the Sabres a playoff spot. So when you look out to tomorrow, the Sabres are about a pick'em, similar to what they were in Montreal, plus 102 on the money line. New York is minus 122 in this game. Goaltending, we do already have that from the Sabres perspective. We'll see what the Islanders choose to do, but the Sabres are going to go with Alex Lyon. He's in the starter's net, so unless there's a change of plans between now and then, and I would not imagine that that's going to happen, I think you should probably expect to see him. Now, for New York, I think you're going to see Ilya Sorokin. They've had a couple of days off. They have not played since Wednesday. They were out west. They finished up in Seattle. This will be the first game back out east on Saturday at 1. So, rest in between. Sorokin is the Vezina favorite right now. I would be very surprised if he is not going to be the guy. And he is a great goaltender that has given the Sabres some headaches in the past. He's at a .914 save percentage on the year, a 16-12-2 record, and the Islanders are in a playoff spot in large part because of him. If you look right now, and this is typical Islanders hockey, I mean, they're a little more exciting than they've been because of Matthew Schaefer, but it should come as no surprise to you that of all the playoff teams in the Eastern Conference, the Islanders have the fewest goals. And they have the fewest goals by 16. Massive, massive difference. Like the Sabres, for comparison, have scored 167 goals on the year, and the Islanders have scored 146. Now, with that, they've allowed the second fewest goals of the playoff teams. Only Tampa have allowed fewer. 141 is that number for the Islanders. So they play defense. They get good goaltending. They are starting to develop a little bit more elite talent now that Schaefer's in the building, but they're still largely the Islanders that you've come to know over recent years under multiple head coaches, and now it's Patrick Waugh. So you're going to get a tight hockey game. You're going to get a defensive hockey game. You're maybe going to have to win a 2-1 style game like they played in Carolina the other night, and hopefully you'd be able to get one more by Sorokin than you were able to get by Bussy. So what about the Islanders statistically on the year? Starting with some of their team stats on the season in terms of shooting percentage, or not shooting percentage, shot attempts. They are 25th in the NHL in percentage of shot attempts that they'll get. When it comes to shots in general, they are at 48% for the year. That is 22nd. In the National Hockey League, expected goals for percentage on the year, they rank 29th, which is not good at all. But again, goaltending. They get the goaltending, and sometimes that's enough. So that's what you're looking at in terms of the overall team. If you do want the power play stats and penalty kill stats on the year, power play, the Islanders find themselves ranking. Where did they go here? Islanders rank 28th, not a dangerous power play. Penalty kill, however, they are 9th. So kind of, again, that's the Islanders. 28th in power play, 9th in penalty kill. That's been them forever. Barzal's still their best player. Schaefer is right there with them now. And you got Horvat, you got Anders Lee. You just don't have a very inspiring group beyond those first couple of guys. So tough team, tough game. I think the Sabres are a better hockey team, though. So with my bet of the night, I am going to go Sabres money line straight up, not messing around. I'm just going to go plus 102 Sabres to win the hockey game. Nothing crazy. Sometimes, don't complicate things. And I've been going for the anytime goal bet. So let's get a win on the board here for both the Sabres and for a betting record here. All right, win tomorrow. And where the Islanders sit, by the way, in comparison to the Sabres, Sabres are 2 points above the Islanders. However, they're in the third spot in the Metro. And there's no team. The next closest team in the Metro is Philly, who's 4 points back. So for now, you might not have to worry about the Islanders because it's only Atlantic Division teams the Sabres are really racing with. But we'll see. If Philly or New Jersey or Washington starts winning, then that could change the formula on that a bit. But for now, it's not as much of a standings game as much as it's just get another win and keep the points rolling. Okay, that'll do it for us here in the Locked On Sabres podcast. 1 o'clock tomorrow in Belmont, Sabres and Islanders. We'll talk to you after it's over. And be sure to get into our Everydayers Club on our Discord, ad-free versions of the show as well. We'll talk to you tomorrow here on the Locked On Sabres podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now your #1 sports podcast network. Stay warm.